Hey guys, welcome back to another Flesh and Blood video. This video is proudly brought to you by the House of Cards, the official sponsor of my stream. Be sure to check out the link in the description below for all of your Flesh and Blood needs. The thing about Briar hitting LL is that it's going to start forcing players to experiment if they want to continue to play Runeblade heroes such as Viserai and Vincent. They're going to have to try new weapons and new things, such as Reaping Blade. Check out this game I played against Reaping Blade Viserai. Let's just get in with the Spider's Bite to start, just kind of see what happens here. Guys, appreciate y'all hanging out tonight. I know tonight's like 3 and 3 is definitely not the night I was hoping for, but appreciate everybody hanging out. It means a lot. Me someone, me someone. So using this will just get 2 cards out of their hand more than likely. I mean, I guess they're going to draw up either way. Yeah, I would have given 2 cards there if I was my opponent. So we'll put that there. So we can block. We can block with the blue Isolate, pitch Surgical Extraction for Spider's Bite, and then go Isolate into Command and Conquer, the Isolate from Arsenal, and then Arsenal my other Isolate. Oh, Lord. Or we're just going to block 6. Now, this is kind of nice because our looking for scrap is turned on because of our blue Isolate here. Let's see how our opponent blocks. I don't expect a lot of defense reactions from our opponent, but I mean, they could have some. Like, that's definitely something that could be on the table here. Reaping Blade. So, forever and a day ago, and if you guys are watching, you guys might have been around on my channel long enough to know that, but forever and a day ago, we thought that Rosetta Thorn was going to get banned originally. Like, we thought it was going to get banned at... we thought there was a potential for it to get banned at the first ProQuest season of 2023. Then when it didn't, we were like, oh, okay, RTN season. Oh, I'm sorry. Crap. And then when it didn't, we were like, oh, RTN season. Like, RTN season for sure. And then Briar finally just now hit LL, but we were ready for it to hit LL a long time ago. So in preparation of that, I was trying to see if Viserai worked with Nebula Blade. So I bought a cold foil Nebula Blade. I think it was like a cold foil first edition one back in the day. I'll have to look at my binder and see if it's first edition or not. Because, I mean, I think those are worth like 40 or 50 bucks now. Let's block 3 here. The only thing that really blows us out is if they Spellbound Creepers into Revel. So they didn't have the resources, or they could have actually. So block the Reaping Blade, take 6 Rune Chance, Isolate, Humble, or Spider's Bite, Isolate, Humble. Alright, yeah, so take 6. Seems fine. Seems like a fine turn as far as everything's concerned. Our opponent ties it up. Oh. and then Isolate, and then Humble actually being very relevant because we're taking away all of their rune chant production capability, which is like super strong. Like super strong for us. Now, basically whatever they attack with, like, I'm hoping that their turn is just like lackluster and they don't really do much here. But we're probably looking at Fate Foreseen into Isolate, Uzuri, Leave No Witnesses, Arsenal to Sink Below. If I had to guess, that's what we're looking at. It could just be Spider's Bite into Leave No Witnesses, but I don't know. Isolate into anything like that's relevant is really good. Hopefully they have an arsenal and it matters. Okay, so they're pitching multiple reds here to activate Grasp. They're just gonna Reaping Blade me. If they Reaping Blade me, I'll think I might use Tunic to prevent this here. Like, might as well use our Arcane Barrier here, and then we can just go Fate Foreseen. We'll see what we hit on top. I mean, yeah, that's a pretty good card. We'll leave that on top, and then we'll just take 3. I think this is a better use of our resources. We get to attack for 5 this way instead of just for 4. So I like the idea of going Spider's Bite into Leave No Witnesses here. I mean, they don't have an arsenal. So, like, Leave No Witnesses is not, like, really, like, this big, giant blowout play. It does get a card out of their deck, though. So... they make 3 rune chants. We're gonna sink and put the shred on the bottom. Do we have a death touch in our... no, we don't. Put the shred on the bottom if we find a blue. No. Huh. I think we're just safely taking this here. Block with Death Touch to set up a Codex here, and then we can go E-Strike for 7, Arsenal looking for a scrap. I think that's fine because it sets us up to have looking for a scrap in Arsenal with a Tunic counter coming up on that turn, so I think that's our most efficient play. Harley's laughing it up about something in there. They must be having a lot of fun playing Fortnite. I assume they're playing Fortnite. I wonder if this is my opponent thinking or Talishar lagging. It's my opponent thinking. You got a fast car. I gotta take it anywhere. Oh, no blocks? Really? Their hand must be pretty solid if they're going to say no blocks here. So, like, we have blocked with a blue, right? Like, I'm pretty sure I set that up early in the game. Okay, so this is probably where we get our equipment, like where we give our equipment here, along with one of, like, with our Fate Foreseen. Okay. So, pitch surgical extraction. No, I'm sorry. It's tunic. It's tunic into spider. It's tunic into 1 for 5. Go again off looking for a scrap. Isolate surgical, and then it's Nimblism, 1 for 8. Go again. Isolate surgical extraction. So we're just taking the arcane damage here. And the fact that this is only for 1 is wild because it means we can just throw our Black Tech Whisperers here. Just setting ourselves up in a really positive fashion. Like, I know that they're making a lot of rune chance, but like... Alright, so again, we're taking 4 rune chance here. So essentially, we've taken 6 so far to this point. They make 2 on the back end. This is for 3. I'm just going to play Fate Foreseen. We're essentially using a 4 to block a 4 because of the blue Mauvrion Skies here. Our Black Tech Whisperers blocked for 3. So value town on our equipment. Yeah, we're going to leave that on top because it's a 1 for 5 with go again. Never played Nimble Strike before until today, and Nimble Strike's looking pretty cool. Take 4 here. I mean, this was a very good turn from our opponent here. Like, go again and drawing extra cards, like value town. Like, insane value here. And, like, these were for free because they just kept costing 1 less. Yeah! This damage is unpreventable. I don't understand why it's unpreventable. Like... Oh, Gloomveil. Gloomveil. So I'm going to go to 10 here to serve back a pretty strong turn. We'll get rid of the backstab. So this is a 1 for 8 with go again. And then because of our Nimblism, our Nimble Strike is set up for a 1 for 5 with go again next turn. I really like the card Nimblism. Like, it's one of those cards that I've always enjoyed, but I've never had the chance to play because of the heroes I play. So, and I got a feeling that I could be. Oh, Lord. I did not sleep enough last night, obviously. Which is crazy, because I went to bed before midnight last night. The thing that is honestly pretty terrifying to me is that I'm at 10 and my opponent has all of their equipment. Like, I don't want to use Flick Knives until it's, like, super relevant. Like, when Flick Knives... Like, I only have 1 dagger to throw at them, so I get 1 use off of this. So Flick Knives is a 2-point equipment. Our opponent's really in the tank here, I think. Like, that or I'm lagging again. Yeah, no, our opponent's, like, really tanking about their turn here, which, you know, honestly, I respect. Like, it's better to make a good decision and make sure that you're doing the right thing. Like one silly mistake will cost you the game. If they give me a card and both pieces of equipment here, I wonder if they have a defense reaction. Like, what was the point of you giving Grasp of the Arknight there? And I get to take a card here? Okay, so let's think about this. If I take Mordred Tide, their turn is activate Grasp, use Tunic to come in for 7 and a Rune Chant. If I take Shrill, their turn is activate Grasp and attack with Reaping Blade in that, Arsenal Mordred Tide. If I take the blue, their turn is terrible. I think we're supposed to take the blue there. I think that's the most correct decision. Especially considering that Surgical wants blue cards. So if I go to 7 here, I'm putting myself in a scary position here. So if I go to 7, I can pitch Sink Below to go 5 go again, and then Infect for Death Touch. Alright, I guess let's do it. Man, I don't know if this is correct at all. It might just be correct to like give them Nimble Strike here. Go Infect into Death Touch and then Arsenal Sink Below. Banish our Nimblism, so now we have a 1 for 5 with Go again. I actually played against a Briar at Nats who was playing Nimble Strike in their deck. I think I'm going to use the Flick Knives here regardless. I think the Flick Knives... I think this is our turn for Flick Knives. I think this is our turn for Flick Knives. It's not going to do anything on our first attack, but it's going to make them think about the Death Touch. Yeah, I'm just going to do it. I think this is my turn. Like, I think this is it right here. Like, I just think we got to get our car. We have to use Flick Knives. We can't take that reaction with us. We have to use it at some point. So it might as well be now. Because we are in the last few turns of the game. Our opponent's just tanking so much, like, and I mean, I get it. Like, you know, the big turns require a lot of thought. Like, and if like you're a like experienced player, then like the more you play, the more this kind of stuff comes up. Like that you end up sitting and thinking and making sure you're making the right decision. Like this is exactly how like Michael Hamilton, like Charles Dunn, you know, like Michael Fang, all these guys like end up making sure they're making the right decisions. Okay, so our opponent keeps 3 cards. There's no reason for me to put this in because they've already blocked 6. Which means I'm just going to Arsenal my Death Touch and play it next turn, which is like pretty good for us. It's a pretty good card. They put Mordred on the bottom and then drew another one. Yeah. Flick Knives now just says block 1. Okay, so we're going to pitch Isolate here. We're going to block this out. Now the question is, are we going to block the Reaping Blade? So we could block with Flick Knives, take 2, go to 5. And then our turn is Ravenous Rabble into Death Touch, which does require a decent amount of cards. And then I can Arsenal my Codex this way. I could also block here and then go Rabble Death Touch and have nothing and keep all of my equipment. Oh, I think we're just like, I think we're playing the value plan here. Just block 3, try to play like a slower game, try to like stay in the rhythm of keeping our life lead. I think that's one of the places I've really gone wrong tonight playing Uzuri, is that like I've just not been playing like this like I've been trying to play the super value oriented game plan. I'm just not like a big Uzuri player, so I don't know a lot of it. And you know, I've said this a lot when I'm streaming. You know, if you guys have, you know anything about me, like I said, I'm very open about the idea, about the concept that I'm not somebody who's just naturally great at a deck. I have to play it and put the time into it and understand the different lines. Like the pattern recognition, like really has to happen for me over the course of like, 10 to 15 games. And while I've played about that many games on Uzuri, it's just been a while. Like I just don't play Uzuri regularly enough. And for anybody wondering, or anybody that watches this later, I'm probably not going to play Uzuri at ProQuest season. The 2 decks that I'm leaning into the most right now for ProQuest season are Bravo and Fi. I have other things put together. Like I could play Icelander, I could play Dromai, I could play Dash. Like I could probably borrow enough stuff again to put Lexi together like I did for Nats. Because I don't own the cards for Lexi. Like I never did. Like those were like every card I played at Nationals. Almost every card I played at Nationals was me borrowing stuff. So I'm probably going to end up on Bravo or Fi. I'm really hoping I can find a Fi list that like really jumps out at me and makes me think, yeah, like I need to be playing this. Like I need to play this Fi list or this Fi list. Yeah. So I think we're just blocking with Shakedown here. Throw Humble for 6, get 2 cards out of my opponent's hand here. We'll just get 2 cards out, Arsenal the Command and Conquer. I'm telling you, this Tiger Fi list, OP. Dude, it like Do you actually think it's really good, or are you like, or do you just love playing Tiger cards, Billy? And I'm asking because if you really think it's insane, I'll test it. I'll play it. I'll stream it a couple times and see how I like the list. I've never really played with any of the Tiger cards, so it'd be a new experience for me. But I'd be willing to test it out if you actually think it's a really good deck. Oh, give me the pummel. Probably means you have another one in your hand though, or you have one in your arsenal or something. Okay. So we're definitely going to block this with the flick knives here. The question is, I think we're just going to pitch our shred for Arcane. Block flick knives so they don't get any extra rune chance here. We will prevent that, and then I guess we'll block here. Keep a better card in my deck. Well, I may be biased because it's Tigers, but I'm seeing potential for sure. My few little changes feels better. Still trying to find the sweet spot. I mean, yeah, that's fair. I feel like with any good deck comes somebody trying to find the sweet spot of like what cards should and shouldn't be played for quite a while. So I still need to look through the original list, but like if you get a chance later, like after you've been working on it for a little bit, send me the changes you've made and I'll like look and see like I'll play around with it a little bit. I'm going to arsenal my Nimblism in hopes of like, you know, making that like a super value play. So this is for 3 go again, and then so if I go Fate Foreseen on this, Nimblism looking for a scrap with go again into Humble, that's a pretty solid turn. That's enough to give me, that's the juice I need to end the game here. Let's put this on the bottom. And then I'm going to take the 1, but I'm going to give them... I'm going to keep my hand here. I like all of my hand. But I'm going to give them that so I can stay at 4 so that I can still take a little bit of damage if I need to. A 1 for 8 with go again. You love to see it. You're going to give me 3 cards here. You're going to block for 8. And then when your last card blocks for 3, you're going to die. Oh, it blocks for 2. Man, all those pummels came at the end of the game. Good game, opponent. Man. 82 damage threatened. So about 2/3 of the way through the game, there was a turn where I had a looking for scrap with go again, and it was for 8 power because of Nimblism, followed up with an Isolate Surgical Extraction, which allowed me to take away their only blue card, so that they couldn't really have a turn or do anything impactful, and that kind of set up the start of me like slowly starting to snowball the game away from them. Later, I used a Nimble Strike to like push through some extra damage, and I just kind of got on the front foot there. Up until that point, there was a lot of back and forth, and the game was like very close, and we were both walking the life totals down. It was very interesting. The Reaping Blade Viserai never really had a crazy explosive turn. I kept waiting for them to have like a Mordred Revel turn. I think we were putting on just enough pressure to where they could never really keep all of their cards and say no blocks. So I think that ultimately put us in a good position. Uzuri wants to walk the life totals down, and then at the end of the game, have her explosive turn and kind of run away with it. And that's exactly what we did. If you guys see anything I could have done differently, please let me know in the comments below. I'm always open to other lines and suggestions. If you guys like the video, be sure to like and subscribe for more content. Take it easy, guys, and I'll see y'all next time.